everybody, and welcome to our e-commerce series. We're really excited. Sorry for the late start this morning. We are just giving everybody a few minutes to get on. I had a couple of emails asking for different links and getting on the different platforms. Coming back from a long weekend, always there seems to be little glitches and things like that as we get going. But I'm excited to be back after a long weekend and get going right away. So for those that don't know me, I'm Megan McFall. I'm the director here at USU Spark, and I'm excited to be a part of this presentation and the opportunity to share with you. I am the Small Business Development Center Regional Director down here in Southeastern Utah. And I want to thank our co-host, Navajo Tourism, for helping us put these on and be able to share this information with multiple different industries. For those that are joining us for the first time, I tend to tailor these classes more towards the tourism industry because obviously we're working with a lot of tourism groups down here. But all of this information that we have and that we share with you can go towards any industry. I want to make sure that these classes are tailored towards whatever business you are in. So as you have questions come up, feel free to put those in the chat, as well as if you're joining us across any of our social media platforms. We are live on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Go ahead and put those in the comments. At the end, if I miss any of the comments or the chats and the questions, I will go through and I will answer those questions as we go through and make sure that we get all of those answered. And then if for some reason I missed it, I will go back through and audit it before the end of the day and make sure I get those answered as well. So I'm looking forward to get started. For those that don't know, next week will be the last class in this series. That will be learning the basics of Google Ads and being able to market your business through Google Ads. A lot of people have a lot of questions about how to utilize that. They think they have to have a large amount of funds to be able to utilize that. That's just not true. I'm really excited to be able to share that information for you next week. We actually already have about 15 people registered for that class. It's a really popular class anytime that I teach that. So I'm really looking forward to that. So if you have not registered for that, go ahead and get on either Eventbrite or we also have it on the SBDC event website. And then we also send out the newsletters and social media. Whatever way you learned about this, go ahead and get on that platform and register for that so that we can make sure you don't miss that. So let's go ahead and get started today. We are talking about launching your business with a customer-focused marketing plan. And our agenda today, we're going to talk about marketing and the customer journey. We're going to talk about reaching a perspective and creating awareness, the engagement and influence considerations that you need to be thinking about, and then converting your leads and paving the way for that purchase. And then sustaining loyalty and then encouraging advocacy for your business, because we want to create those customers, but ultimately we want to make them raving fans for our business. And then last but not least, we're going to recap and talk about resources that are available to you to help you build your business and your marketing resources. So let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to talk about marketing and the customer journey. Okay, so Seth Godin said, great marketers don't make stuff, they make meaning, which is basically you want to make meaning behind your marketing. You want to touch that emotional aspect so that people can either see themselves in your business or see themselves utilizing your service or having your product, whether that be a jewelry or necklace or whatever that might be with them. They want to see it with that article of clothing or whatever that looks like for your business. Okay. So we're going to talk today about founders of TW Totes and how they took their business and maximized their marketing and created a global iconic business. Okay, so these are new entrepreneurs, often are passionate about their ideas. They have products and people, they have a product that people need, and then they have basically minimal marketing knowledge. but they want to get their product out there. They want to utilize the space. And so what is marketing? At the end of the day, we want to talk about what is marketing, so we make sure that we utilize that. So there's three different aspects of marketing. First, we want to create meaning and tell stories. People will buy product based on the stories that we tell. We talked about that a lot as we were building our website, and we were building the different aspects of our brand. We want to tell stories by everything that we do. I love being in this area because I get to tell the stories behind the business and the passion behind that. And now we need to do that and put that across in our marketing. Okay. Number two is we want to build a relationship, trust, and credibility. That is what was going to make people buy and purchase from you, because you built that relationship, that trust, and created credibility with your people. And then last but not least, we want to influence the customer journey along the way. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so what is the customer journey? There's 4 phases to the customer journey, where there's awareness, consideration, the purchase, and then last but not least, the advocacy. Okay, so these are the 4 different areas that we need to talk about. And every time we go through the customer journey, whether it's on your product or through your website or whatever aspect of marketing you're thinking about, you need to think about these 4 different areas. And then you need to ask yourself questions on how you influence the customer journey. So under awareness, we need to think about reach. How are you going to reach your customer? Okay, under consideration, we'll talk about engagement. Okay, where can they get the answers that they need for your product, your service, what you do, whatever that might be? Where can they find those answers? And then on the purchase, on the conversion, right? Do your leads actually become customers? What's your conversion rate on that? And then last but not least, sustain. How do you sustain your customers? Do they become those loyal customers? Do they become the raving fans? Okay. Reach perspectives and creating awareness. This is the first area that we want to talk about. How do you influence your customer journey through awareness? Okay, how do you reach your customer? There's a million different ways to do marketing and reach customers. In fact, I've got sheets that I give business owners on different ways to think about when we create a marketing plan. These are just a few ways. Google search, we've already talked about, and how putting your business and creating the proper profile on Google search can make a big difference on whether your business is found and whether another business or your client goes to a competitor, right? So Google search is one way. Word of mouth. Word of mouth is absolutely huge, because when somebody hears it through word of mouth, it creates a credibility that is very hard to create any other way. Word of mouth is absolutely incredible. Advertising, just general paid advertising. We talked about Google ads, there's Facebook ads, there's any social media type ads, there's general newspaper. We have a lot of newspaper ad down in our area. And then there's just like overall like radio ads and things like that you can consider. There's trade show marketing. And then there is searching online, just basically searching online. That would fall under the same like Google search type of a situation. Okay, reaching your perspectives. You need to identify your customer. You need to know who your customer is. We talk about there's different words for this specifically. Like for example, people will talk about their avatar or their ideal client, or different things like that. But you need to identify that, and you need to know that ideal client so well. You need to know your age range, married, not married, family, all of those details, so that you know how to tailor your marketing for that customer. Because how you would market for a married person with children was going to be very, very different than how you're going to market for a single person or a couple without children. Knowing those details and that information is going to be very, very important. So you need to identify your customer. You need to brand your business. And people think that maybe just a logo is a brand. People will see a logo and that's my brand. A brand for your business is so much more than just a logo. We talked a little bit about this last week. If you missed last week's class, go back and watch that video. It's up on YouTube. But a brand for your logo is so much more than just your, or brand for your business, sorry, is so much more than just the logo. A brand for your business is the colors that you've created for your business and why you picked those colors. Colors mean so much. They can evoke emotion and behavior and things like that. The example I use a lot is when I built one of my businesses, I picked very masculine colors because I liked those colors. But my ideal client was women. And I couldn't figure out why I was attracting men to my business and I wasn't attracting my ideal client. It took a simple brand change and changing my colors to get my ideal client, but I had to learn that. And so looking at those aspects, fonts will tell a story, and it also attracts different ideal clients. And so knowing that and having those details set up for your business are very, very important. We'll be doing a lot on branding at the first of the year. And so if you do not have a brand set up for your business, make sure you get on that series starting on January 6th. And then last but not least, getting your business online. The majority of people will find a business online, a product online first before they ever bought it in stores. I believe the number now is 86% of people will find a product online or check your business out online before they purchase from you, whether it's a brick and mortar or online. So just be aware of that, okay? Identifying your customer, you want to make sure that you know the demographics, the psychographics, the geographics, and the behaviors. Knowing these 4 things will have a massive impact on how and who you market to, how you set up your marketing, and it will be it'll make a difference, a night and day difference in how effective your marketing is, okay? So this is an example. We have Metro Michaela, okay? Metro Michaela is in her mid-30s. She is a female, she's single, she lives in a large city, she's college educated, she works in fashion. Her interests are cooking, wine, and travel, and she shops locally. She supports local business. I love it, okay? So this is Metro Michaela. Okay, brand your business for Metro Michaela. Okay, your logos, your colors, the graphic elements that you would put in your business for Metro Michaela. Okay, what messaging would you do to attract Metro Michaela if she was your ideal client? Okay, how would your voice be, the tone, all of those different things? That's part of your brand. It tells a story of your business. And when people see those aspects, they know that that is your business. Okay, branding is based on values and the ideals of your business. You want to create an identity that appeals to the prospective customer that you want. Who are they? Who you want to be and who you stand for. Okay. So creating a brand position statement. So you need to do this within your business. And if you have a little bit of time right now, write down these 4 things. Who you serve. You want to make sure it states that. What you offer. What differentiates, I can never say that word, I'm sorry, you from your competitor. And then your promise or your mission as a business, okay? So it would look something like this for the audience, so your ideal customer, who your customer's challenge or need, and then your business name provides what service or product based on, and then your brand promise or mission, okay? So if you have a couple of minutes, go ahead and do this. We're very limited on time today. I want to make sure that we get to questions. And so I want you to take some time after and be able to do this and write that down, okay? So this was the TW Totes mission statements. So they were for working professionals who need a stylish and functional lunch bag. TW Totes provides a fashionable, insulated vegan leather tote because everybody deserves a luxurious and fashionable and functional lunch bag for fashionable lunch bag the entire family can use, okay? So they took this same basic structure and they took the mission of their business, who they serve, and they put it in that statement. Now imagine taking your business and putting that out there and having that brand positioning statement. Once you have your brand positioning statement, you can take that and you can create your marketing plan, your basically everything that you need to create for your business, your social media direction and content, your tone, your voice, everything that you need to do moving forward can be based on that, but you need your statement first, okay? Now you need to get your business online. One of my favorite places to get online is YouTube because it's video. Video says so much more than words, right? People watch video more than they will watch or read a paragraph or a blog anymore, things like that. And so video is a great way. I have an entire class actually on growing your business on YouTube. And so if you have that or you want to learn more about that, go ahead and jump on that class. But getting your business online. So you want to look at the different social media platforms that you want to be a part of. Now, I have a lot of businesses that come in and think that they need to be on every single social media platform they can find. Here's the key. You don't need to be on every single social media platform. You need to be on the social media platforms that are going to make a difference in your business. If your business ideal client is mostly on Facebook and they're not on TikTok, you don't need to be on TikTok. If your main people are on, say, LinkedIn, because you have a more professional product, you need to be on LinkedIn. You might not need to be on Instagram. You need to figure out what is best for your business. I see a lot of business owners spending a full-time 40 hours a week on social media trying to market their business, keep up an image, trying to do all of the social media, and it's too much and they're not getting their return on the investment. And so spend some time and truly evaluate that and figure out which social media platforms are going to impact your business the most. And if you need help with that, I'm more than willing to help you with that and figure out where your ideal clients are and what's the most important and how to maximize your time and then get you back into your business. But it is just, don't take that and burn yourself out on social media and take yourself out of your business, because I see that a lot. Figure out where you need to spend the most time to maximize the return on investment so that you can spend more time within your business. Get to the point where you have that mastered. It might be 1 or 2 platforms and you feel good, maybe add a third at that point in time. If you get good about that, add a fourth, but don't feel like you have to do it all at once or you're going to hit burnout and you're not able to keep up. It is better to only be on a few and master that and look incredible on those few than be on all of them and not be able to master any of them and not be consistent. The key is consistency, and don't be on all of them and then not be consistent. Be on a few and be consistent and be incredible. Okay. You want to make sure that you're on directories. If there is a directory on things, make sure that you get on that. San Juan County here has a tourism directory. They have a business directory. I know that Navajo Nation has a tourism directory right on their Discover Navajo site for all the different, they have tours, they have where to lodging, different things like that. That's the go-to place. If you're visiting, say, Monument Valley and you need to know those different things, if you're not on those directories, you need to find out what it takes to get on those different directories and get yourself there, because it becomes the go-to place to get that information. So find out how to get there. And then last but not least, the online marketplaces. If you have a product or service that can go on an online marketplace, get yourself on there. It is a disservice to your business if you're not utilizing all the aspects that can maximize your business and your sales with the littlest amount of work. So make sure you're maximizing those offers. Okay, build your website. There are several aspects on building your website. Number one, you own it. A lot of people will say, well, I just have it on Facebook and I just put everything else on Facebook and so I'm okay, I don't need a website. Here's the problem with that. At the end of the day, you don't own anything you put on Facebook. So if There's all these big jokes about Facebook jail that are going around, and I'm a repeat offender of Facebook jail and stuff like that. Here's the key. Somebody doesn't like something that you put on there, and you can lose everything you've created, all of your followers, all the people in your groups, everything, because of something somebody doesn't like that you put on. You could put a picture or a comment or anything like that, and your entire business is shut down and gone. Do not exclusively build your business on a social media platform. You could lose it all. You want to make sure that you own what you create. So you can utilize those social media platforms as a marketing aspect, but make sure you create something that you own. You own your website. You own your email list. You own those different aspects. You don't own your social media platforms. Just make sure that you're aware of that. You also need to be careful on which websites or which hosting sites that you're putting your website on, because some of those you don't own either. And so make sure you're reading the fine print on those as well, because some of those you are also listed that you don't own that and you run the same risk. So make sure you're reading the fine print, okay? Next thing is you control it. Again, going back, within your website, you control every aspect and every piece of content that goes on your website. You control the branding, you control the look, you control everything like that. On a social media platform or anything like that, you don't control it. They control the look of their social media platform. They control the gadgets, the budget, the ads, all that stuff. They control that. And so you are limited within what they're willing to give you. Whether as you build your own website, you control what that is. You can add a book online button. You can add the different aspects that you want that will maximize your customer engagement, your customer experience, and that's what you want to control. You also want to be able to control how you're getting the information that you need to maximize your business. So make sure that you control it. And then last but not least, you grow it as your business grows. So if you're just starting out and you have a small business, you might not be able to either afford a huge, gorgeous, professionally done website, but you might be able to do a one-page landing page. That's great. You can build as you go. You just need a small little one-pager now. That's fine. And then you can develop and add those different elements that you need as your business grows, as you need those different aspects. And that's the really cool part about having your own website. Okay. So you can get a free business profile on Google's. We actually did that class a few weeks ago, and I actually saw several new business profiles pop up in our area. I'm really excited about that. And I also saw a lot of business information in our area changes. What a lot of businesses don't know is you control the information that goes out about your business on Google profile, but it's up to you to go in and change that information. It's up to you to keep that updated. Google My Business is a huge key for you to control what goes out in Google search and to help maximize that information, but it's up to you to maintain that. It needs to be maintained just as much as your social media platforms are maintained. So making sure you're taking that time to maintain that is super important. Also, make sure that if there's any adjustments, for example, when COVID, we had the different lockdown or shutdowns in different areas and stuff like that, Google went in and based on the mandates of the different areas, put that information on all of the businesses. And then it was up to the businesses to go in and change that. So if you have not gone in and updated your hours or different things like that, you need to go in and update that, because there's several businesses that are still listed as temporarily closed that are not closed. In fact, they're open and they're missing out on a lot of business because they're still listed as temporarily closed. So some big keys there. If you're not listed and have not created a Google profile yet, go ahead and get on there and create a Google profile. Okay, next is engage and influence the consideration. Okay, so engage. Where can they find the answers, or can they find the answers? Okay, you need to evaluate your brand and then gather the information. Okay, you need to listen and learn to your customers, your customer feedback, your reviews, just talking one-on-one with your customers will give you the information that you need to make this impactful. Okay, communicate and deliver value. There's an old adage that you need to be paid for all of your information, and that if you give it all out, your customer won't buy from you. That is, I don't know when that started. My joke is it's so 90s. It is. You need to give a value add to your customer so that they want to come back. You create the credibility. They say, hey, that is a business that I want to do business with because they're willing to give me the information that I need to get started. They're willing to give me enough information that I need to say, okay, I feel comfortable to work with them. They know what they're doing. Be okay to deliver value before that payment comes in, because it will give you a higher ROI. You'll see a lot of times, like for example, when I do classes out of here, I actually have, like, for example, books on the majority of my entrepreneur fundamentals. So I will actually give that book out for those that will actually purchase the class. So then before they can actually read the book and have a really good idea of what we're going to teach, or have a jump up on what we're going to do. Or I have the training manual that I will give out that we've typed up. It's about 50 to 100 pages. That way they have a physical aspect, where most classes don't give that kind of information out. You have to write all that out yourself. I would rather have them sit and have that information and be able to write notes right on there and be able to pay attention in class rather than sitting and writing notes endlessly. Right? Those are kind of things that are value adds that are able to say, this is a value that I'd rather invest in because they gave me that extra thing. Okay. And then developing relationships. This is an aspect that gets forgotten a lot. Once somebody comes and purchases something from us and then leaves, what kind of follow-up are we doing with them? What are we doing to develop that relationship before somebody purchases from us? What are we doing to get to know our customers, to develop that relationship, to say, hey, this is a business I want to do business with? Okay, those are the small things that make a big difference. Birthday cards, answering questions, having a personal touch, is customer service elements that are going to make a difference long term, that makes those gravy pans. Okay, so listen and learn. Determine your pain points. Your customers will tell you their pain points. You just have to give them the opportunity. Okay, address the challenges that are faced, and then find out what they're searching for online. Finding out those keywords. A lot of people will be very straightforward with their searches. A lot of people will think of very, very straightforward. But if you go and take it a level deeper, we talked about this on SEOs and trends and things like that. Take it a level deeper and look at those words. What are the side questions that are being answered? And then once you've studied those and found out those, what's the second level deeper than that? And if you can utilize and maximize those different levels of what's being searched, then you're going to pull in 2 levels deeper of clientele that you haven't touched or would not normally pull in if you just do the basic keywords for what you're searching for or what your product represents. So like, for example, we might be looking at, we talk about tourism all the time. So since we're in tourism, we're in Southern Utah with all of these amazing parks down here, and we have a ton of tour guides, okay? So if you're a tour guide, you're competing against, say, 28 different other tour guides. What's gonna set you apart, and why is your business going to show up before those other tour guides, right? If you go and you do this, it'll make a difference. So we have a lot of that are just basic, tours through, I'm going to use Monument Valley again since we've already utilized that. Tours through Monument Valley. It's a pretty basic search, right? If you go another layer different, might be packages for Monument Valley. Okay, you might go another layer different, might be weddings for Monument Valley. It might be those different aspects that people might be searching for Monument Valley that you might be able to utilize and maximize your business in, that the other businesses aren't thinking about, that you'll be able to increase your revenues. Okay. So what are they looking for? How do your customers search for your products that you offer? Okay, if you go on Google and you type in, and the autofill is kind of a really great way, what is, and then you start typing, it'll start filling some different things in. It might give you some different options as well, okay? But the other really great place to help you take those multiple layers deeper is the related searches that will show up. So if you do your basic searches that you're used to, that you can always think of right off the top of your head, if you go down and look at the related searches on each of those, it's going to give you some more things that pop up, or some more things that are related to that are being searched for. And that will help you kind of dig deeper and dig into multiple different levels of what people are looking for. Okay. The other great place to look at is in your trends. So if you go to Google Trends, g.co.trends, and you have your business already set up and links and all of that stuff, we talked about that last week, and by having all of these tools linked together with your Google My Business is going to be really important. If you have your Google My Business, it's under your insights, your trends will be there. You'll be able to see what terms people are searching and your business is coming up, or your industry is coming up, and it will help you take that deeper as well. So it's another great opportunity. So next, you want to communicate. You want to share your value content. You want to educate your customer and inspire them to either purchase from you or book with you or whatever that looks like. And you want to help them research. So if they have questions or need more education, say on a topic, you want to help them research that. You want to help them get those answers. And then last but not least, you want to establish your expertise and create that credibility to connect that to a conversion. Okay, so sharing content through multiple different channels is really important. The first one most people will automatically think of is social media. Social media is an incredible way. There's multiple different platforms, and depending on your ideal client will depend on where you want to share. So social media is awesome. Okay, email, creating an email list that you can email different information, a newsletter, whatever that looks like. That's an incredible way. Here's the thing about email lists. You want to be very thoughtful in how you're emailing out, and make sure you don't over email people so that you get put on their spam list. You want to make sure that you are doing very value add information and do it on a regular enough basis that you stay in their thought process, but not too much that it's coming in so often that they just spam you. So the thought process there. Next is YouTube. We talked about how important videos are, how often people are watching videos. I'm one of the guilty ones. I spend a lot of time on YouTube, but I myself have 3 different channels on YouTube that I upload as well. So I'm watching my friends that are on YouTube and those that are influencers, as well as I'm watching, different things and different trends and building business and speakers and all kinds of different things. Podcast is a newer trend that is taking hold, and it's going to be another one of those that they're already being monetized. Podcasts is going to be another one, just like YouTube, that's going to come hold, and we're going to see an influencer monetized way of developing business through podcasts. And so if you are not on that or don't understand that, take some classes and understand that, because it would be a massive way to develop business. Online publishing is huge as well, and then your website and blog. And a lot of people will say, why do I need a blog on my website? Blogs are so old, they passed, we're onto YouTube, we're onto other things now instead of blogs. Here's the thing, in order to maximize your SEO, and SEO is search engine optimization, that basically determines where you show up in that search. If someone searches something and your business should show up in that list, you want to be in the top 10. If you are not on that first page, your business is not going to be looked at. Sometimes people make it to the second page, but for the most part, if you've got to get your business on that first page. And part of doing that is getting search engine optimization maximized within your website. So when people search different things, your page shows up. Okay, a blog can help you do that, because you're able to put in new content, which is important for search engine optimization, but as well as your keywords, and maximize that information. So That's just an important aspect to have. Okay. I have a question that came in. I'm not sure when it is. What is online publishing? Online publishing is basically, so you have courses or you have books and different things like that that you have created. And so you can actually do your own self-publishing and online publishing. Amazon is probably the most popular online publisher, but there are other ones where you can go in and self-publish and then sell online. So that's online publishing. And so like, for example, if you have a course, like I have multiple different courses, I can go in and self-publish all my courses through, say, Amazon, for example, and then I can sell it through Amazon that way. It's just another way of creating income and creating those different things. The other online publishing is, like, for example, if you are a writer or you have incredible content, you can publish through different articles, different magazines, different things like that. And then you can back tag through your or cross tag through your website. And as long as it's done right, it actually maximizes your SEOs. It's something that we actually specifically do with our businesses down here. With different packages and things like that we create as we work with our businesses, so that we can back tag different articles that are created as we develop websites and marketing options. So there's some different options that way too. So sharing, not selling. There is the huge everybody's been on, like, for example, everybody's been on Facebook, and you have that friend that you avoid reading their information because they're always sell. All of their posts are sell. You don't want to be that person. As you're creating your marketing and your social media content, make sure you're not the person that is sell. Okay, there are different aspects that you can do. For example, you can do frequently asked questions, you can do comparisons and specs, you can do demo videos, you can do different webinars, and you can do samples. But making sure you're keeping your content so that there's a variety. There can be a behind the scenes. This is what our business looks like behind the scenes. Here's the really funny part. People want to see the mess. And I know for a lot of people that kind of freaks people out. For me, it kind of freaked me out in the beginning to say, oh, I don't want to share the mess, because that would mean that people would know that secretly behind the scenes I'm a mess and I'm disorganized, but I really am trying to be organized. It's a mess. People want to see that. People want to know that they're not the only businesses that have kids running around while I'm trying to do books and things like that. They want to know that it's okay to show the mess. This is shipping products out. This is what it looks like to create the product. Some of the most incredible pictures that I have is actually of an artisan that is making rings and has got his clothes, because he was working with fire, has fire marks all over it because of the sparks and stuff like that. But the coolest pictures for a business was him working the metal and the silver and making a ring, and it's the neatest thing in the world. You'll actually see it on some of my marketing as they come out, because it's so cool. But they didn't have to be perfect, and people don't want to see the perfection. They actually want to see the mess. They want your authentic business. So you can have the perfection, and that's great, and you need that. But also, it's okay to share the mess and show that this is the behind the scenes. This is what business looks like, because a lot of those people want to know that that's what it looks like, and it's okay to be a single mom trying to do bookkeeping and trying to keep a kid, or holding a baby while you're trying to enter data and stuff like that. It's okay to share that and know that you're real and you're human. So it doesn't have to be perfect. I guess that's what I'm trying to go for. Okay, develop a relationship. Solve their problems. There's a problem every single one of your customer has. And finding what those pain points are and solving that problem is going to be the key between a incredibly effective marketing plan and reaching that customer, and not having that converted those conversations with your clients is going to be huge, and then helping them evaluate you. Giving them that information, showing them who you are, showing them why your product might be better. For example, like for the totes that we talked about, they're vegan leather. They're beautiful, but they're vegan leather. And so they're friendly to different clientele that might not consider a leather bag. Otherwise, different things like that, showing them that information and giving them that information so that they can help evaluate you is going to be really important. Okay, so I want you to meet Tracy and Danny. They're the founders of Wicked Good Cupcakes. They have a very different way of cupcake style. As you can tell, they put them in mason jars. They do it differently, and that's a cool part of their business, right? That's a massive aspect of their business, okay? So they wanted to take their business to new heights. So they wanted to learn more about their customers. They identified the opportunities to improve their website so that their customer could learn from them and would want to purchase from them. And then they give the customers a reason to come back and share their experience. Again, we're talking about creating raving fans. Okay, convert and pave the way to purchase. We've talked several times throughout the series about if there are more than 5 steps to purchasing your product, then you have too many steps and you're losing. It's probably why you have abandoned carts and things like that. You need to evaluate your purchase process and make it simpler. Okay, so convert, do your leads become actual customers? Okay, through this conversion process, you want to identify the key actions and ready your customers. You want to share timely calls to action, and then you want to streamline the purchase process. Okay, so identifying your customers. You want to, email signups is a great way. Again, that's something that you own and you can never lose. Okay, the content download, trials and demo requests. Depending on whether your product or service or anything like that. If you have an app for your business, and a lot of businesses are moving towards apps, depending on what kind of business that you have, your phone calls and your consultations with those clients to build, whether it's a product or service. For my personal business, I'm in wealth management. We do consultations. We try to avoid doing those on the phone. We'd rather do them face-to-face or over Zoom, but having those makes a difference between converting them to an actual client that we keep or just somebody that's a drive-by just checking us out. Okay, and then placing an item into a cart and whether they actually purchase that or whether it's an abandoned cart. Okay, sharing timely calls to action. Okay, this can go for your social media, this can go for your blogs, this can go for any aspect of your marketing, but you need to have calls to action and they need to be timed appropriately to keep your clients and your customers engaged. So discounts and deals. Right now we have all kinds of, like, today is Cyber Monday and Saturday was Small Business Saturday and different things like that. Making sure you're utilizing those because people are looking for those, but also you can do those throughout the year and time those appropriately so that you can hit your numbers and hit your goals. Exclusive offers. This is another way to make raving fans and loyal fans by offering them, say, a birthday discount, or sending them something on their birthday. Those exclusive offers are huge. Invitations to webinars and events. If you are going to participate in something or you're putting something on, give them an invitation. Those customer testimonials are huge. If you are not asking for reviews or customer testimonials, then you're losing a massive aspect to marketing. That's a huge opportunity, and you can utilize Google to help gather those for you. And then free shipping and value adds. Free shipping right now is massively huge with everything that's going on, and free shipping to your door, it can really increase what you're offering, especially if your competitors are offering free shipping. Okay, streamline purchase process. Again, if you have more than 5 steps, and 5 can sometimes be too many. If you have more than 5 steps to your purchase process, you have too many, and you need to reevaluate what you're doing there. Okay, you need to reduce the number of checkout steps. Offer a guest checkout. That can be huge. Just offering a guest checkout so they don't have to create an account, different things like that can be huge. And then providing a value add service or benefit. So I bought a product on Saturday from a local small business. And as I was checking out, I'd gone through the entire process of checking out. I put in all my information, it had processed my card. And then last but not least, it offered me 50% off of a product that I had looked at while I was in the process and offered me 50%. You think I added that to my cart? You bet I did. And so adding things like that, that's a value add, but it also increases yourself. Figuring out how to do that within your website can make a huge difference, okay? So knowing your analytics. So last week we did analytics and we did insights and all of that stuff. Again, if you don't know that, if you haven't had a lot of background in Google Analytics, go ahead and go back and watch that video. It should be uploaded to YouTube. It should already be uploaded to YouTube. But Google Analytics is a free tool to understand the behaviors of your visitors to your websites. It can tell you how long people are staying on different pages. It can tell you how they're getting to your website, whether it's your social media, Google searches, different things like that, so that you are able to understand who's looking for you and what they're looking for. Understand that the trainings that we do are based on the old analytics as of October 14th, 2020. Google actually changed their analytics. All the information that we share still apply, it's just slightly different. And so understanding those changes and understanding how that affects your business is going to be really important. Okay, so converting customers with online advertising. So next week, we're going to go in detail with online advertising. So if you've never done any online advertising, you've never done any Google ads, anything like that, take some time out of your day next week, same time, same place, and do these the basics of Google ads with us so that you can learn those basics. The same information actually falls across multiple different platforms, not just Google. And so having that information will be very valuable as you consider and start moving into online advertising. Or if you've done online advertising and it hasn't been profitable for you, come in and learn that information and see what you can utilize to make that profitable for you, okay? But ads can drive sales with calls to action, okay? They can show you ads to the right people at the right time. So Google basically, have you ever been watching like YouTube and had a specific ad pop up and think, I just checked that out like 5 minutes ago on something else, and had this ad pop up because you were looking at it? Gotta love Google. It tracks that kind of stuff. It tracks what you look at. And so it'll show your right people at the right time what you're looking at and make sure that it's there. You can also remarket to people that have already looked at your website that Google has already tracked. And remarket your information. The saying goes that people have to see your business 7 times or see your product 7 times before they'll purchase. And so adding that up is going to be have an influence. So they've already seen your product once because they visited your website or whatever that looks like. So now you're remarketing to them so they'll see it again. And if they're ready to purchase, then it's going to be a higher conversion rate, right? So the other thought process now is that if they have been searching for that site and they've looked at multiple different, and then yours shows up again, it's going to have a big impact on that conversion rate. Okay, and then there are many different formats that are available to you, and we go over that next week. So again, if you have the time next week, I encourage you to get on that. Okay, last but not least, we're going to talk about sustaining loyalty and encouraging advocacy. There is nothing better in business. I've done a lot of business over my years. There's nothing better than having word of mouth marketing and having people come to you and say, hey, I heard about your business from so-and-so and they loved your product and they just raved about it and I need to try XYZ, or I need to have you do XYZ for my business. It is the most incredible thing because that was free marketing. And the more of that you can do, the better. The more you can have somebody else share something on social media or see a post and share your post and say, oh my gosh, I tried this. It was amazing. It was the best cheesecake I ever had, whatever that looks like for you. But you want that because it's free advertising for you, and it creates a level of credibility that you yourself can never create on the first view. Okay, so creating those advocates, how are you going to create those raving fans? Okay, you're going to build customer loyalty by providing more value to those loyal customers. You want to sustain loyal customers through providing programs and incentives. You want to give them a reason to come back. You want to give them a reason to rave about you. Okay, encourage advocacy among your customers. Give them, again, a reason to rave about your product, your service, and who you are. Okay, building loyal customers. You want to stay in touch with them. Don't have them be a one-time and done type of a situation. Here in the tourist area, a lot of times our customers come back either every other year, they might come back every year, just because they love our area. So if they're coming back every year, every other year, why would we not stay in touch with them and want them to stay in our hotels? Why would we not show them or tell them about a new tour that we have just put together and can't wait to show them the new sites that we have available and send them a picture? There's so many things that you can do to stay in touch with your customers throughout the year, throughout the couple of years, and have them come back and be repeat customers, okay? Provide stellar customer service. There's nothing better than incredible customer service. We are doing a customer service class after the business finance class. So if that is something that you feel like you would benefit, go ahead and jump on that class. But customer service and incredible customer service will leave an impact more than almost anything else that you can do. That is so memorable. Ask for feedback. Again, if you're not asking for the feedback, how was your visit? What can we do to improve? Can you leave us a review if you feel comfortable? Whatever that looks like for your business, but putting that information out there is going to be absolutely huge for your business and developing your business, okay? And then continually improving, continually evaluating your customer experience is going to be massive. Having people come in and go through your customer experience blindly, not having any of your employees realize who they are and have them go through that customer experience and tell you what their experience was. Have them call you when you have no idea. If you are a solo show, have them call you when you have no idea from someone else's phone, so you don't know who they are, and go through that process so that they can come back and say, this is what I loved and this is some other options. So you can create that on your own so that you can develop that better for your customers, okay? And then delight them with unexpected ways, okay? Creating that wow factor. And every business is going to be different. Every single one is going to be different on how you're going to wow your customer and say, come back to us, or this is what we have going on. But having that wow factor is going to be incredible and is going to say, hey, remember that business that we did whatever with, or remember that tour we went on? Remember when they did this? That was so cool. We need to do that again. Okay. Or remember that hotel we stayed at? Remember that breakfast. So we have a hotel here that's known for their cinnamon rolls. Something so small, cinnamon rolls for breakfast, but they literally are known for those cinnamon rolls. Those small things, that wow factor makes a difference, okay? Sustain customer loyalty, have VIP programs and exclusive offers. We kind of already talked about that, discount and some perks. Plan those out throughout the year so you know when you're going to offer those discounts, so you can have an entire marketing scheme behind that. My team and I sit down like literally right now and plan our discounts and our perks and different things like that, and we set them in the queue. We have our marketing all set up so that we can have that set out throughout the year. It's scheduled. We don't have to think about it. It's natural. It just goes out and it's just ready to go. Have that set up so that you know, I'm going to get a bump in sales right here, or I'm going to need a bump in sales about right here. We need to do this special. Have those set up so that you're ready to go, and it's not something you have to think about, especially if you have a seasonal based business like the tourist industry. And then personalized programs. If you have personalized programs for different corporations or different companies, things like that, that'll make a difference. Maybe you have family reunions that you work with, whatever that looks like. If you are a coach or a consultant, if you're having personalized programs for a specific business, it'll make a huge difference. You can also charge a premium for those kind of things as well. But it's an option for personalized options that you can make a difference within and leave a wow factor for them, okay? Encourage online advocacy. So again, goes back to online reviews. There's different options for that. There's Yelp, there's Google reviews, there's things like that. Testimonials and case studies. Every business is going to be different on how they do those as well. I like to have video testimonials, and we do those as in like a webinar podcast style where there's an interview between the two of us and we talk about their experience, and then there's a signed release for that. You're going to have to figure out what's best for your business. We found that the videos were best for our business. Figure out what works best for your business. Have a referral program. The referral program for our business was the best thing we put into place because it gives that credibility right off the bat that, hey, so-and-so referred you to your business. And it gives that initial credibility that you can't get anywhere else, okay? Have contests. Especially if you're on social media and the majority of your business comes from social media, do contests. It makes a massive impact on your engagement. And then social media sharing. Do something to get more social media shares. Well, get your information out across more audiences than you would personally have reach for, but also would reward your loyal customers and then show that credibility because they're sharing your information as well. So that's kind of a double bonus, I guess. Okay, so tips for managing reviews. So a lot of people get really, really worried about reviews. What if I get a bad review? I don't want to get a bad review. It'll take my stars down. And they get really, really worried about that. Here's the thing about reviews. I don't expect every business, I don't know about you guys, but when I go on and look at reviews, I will book like a hotel or I'll book something based on their reviews. I always get on Google or Yelp and look at that and look at the reviews. If they have a bunch of like 4 and 5 stars, and then every once in a while has a lower star, you can't please everybody. I've been in business long enough to know you can't please everybody, and I'm sure you have as well. Think about that, and most people understand that. But it's how they reacted to that. How did they correct the problem? How are they interacting with that customer? And that information's on there as well. So here's some tips on that. Make sure you respond promptly to every review. Get on there within 24 hours and say, if it's great, we love to serve you. Thanks so much. Can't wait to have you back. Whatever that looks like for your business, but make sure you get on there promptly and respond back. If it's a negative review, get on there quickly and find out what happened. If you have no idea what happened, get on there and find out what happened. Make that contact and do what you can to correct it. Write genuine, courteous, and short responses. You don't want to copy and paste type of a situation. You don't want to write the same thing for every single one. It doesn't look genuine and it doesn't look authentic, and it gets nailed every single time as, that's a copy and paste, or that's a robot doing all of that. You don't want that. You want to have genuine, authentic responses, okay? But keep them short, keep them quick, okay? Share your point of view of the situation and answer or thanks, okay? So if there was something that went wrong, share your point of view. Sorry, XYZ happened. It was beyond our control. We apologize. We'd like to invite you back for a better situation on us, whatever that looks like. But add that in, okay? And then avoid offering incentives or advertisements. Don't put incentives and advertisements on your reviews. You want to put those, if you need to do an incentive or anything like that for that customer to rectify that situation, do that over email, over phone, whatever that looks like, and don't do that on the replies, because that will only encourage people to do a negative response just so they can get an incentive or get a freebie or whatever that looks like. You want to make sure you're taking care of that off off the reply chain. Better way to put that. So next, who can be an advocate? A lot of people don't understand that there are more than just those people that purchase their product or service can be an advocate. So the standard one is your customers. They can be an advocate for you, but look at other ways and other people that can be advocates for you. So your employees can be advocates, and they can be probably your best advocates if you have the right culture and the right situation within your business. They can be your best advocates. Your partners, okay? You might be working with other businesses and partnerships and create those different situations on those different partnerships. They can be incredible advocates for you. And then your vendors, if you have different vendors that you're working with, they as well can be incredible advocates. I was a chef for many, many years, and my vendors were some of my most incredible advocates. In fact, they also would bring in, like, for example, they would do their holiday parties and things like that with us. And be major customers, and I moved them from vendors over into the customer realm as well. So those are three different categories to evaluate and figure out how can we make these three categories raving fans for our business. Because if your employees, your partners, and your vendors are not raving fans, then systems need to be evaluated and how we can make those raving fans. And then last but not least, and this is an important category these days, influencers and affiliates. How can you adjust your business so that you can be an influencer and affiliate based business? Because if you can do that and create that, because a lot of marketing can go out on that basis, you can have a massive impact for a very, very small impact on your bottom line. So look at that and see how you can create that. The different social medias, whether it's TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all of those have incredible social media influencers on, right? And they're going through our different areas, especially here in our southern Utah, in their tourist different areas. Are those businesses being influencers for our businesses, or are they just talking about our parks? Are they just talking about what they can see? Are they going to help bring business properly into our area? And that's what we need to look at, okay? Last but not least, the recap and resources. So marketing awareness and consideration, recap. Awareness, how are you reaching your customers and your engagement? How are they finding answers on your business? Some really important questions to be asking yourself, okay? You want to define your customer. You want to properly brand your business. And if you have not done that yet, get on our it starts on January 6th, we get on our branding your business series starting in January 6th, okay? You want to listen and learn from your customers, find their pain points, find out what is affecting them and how your business can impact that. Communicate and deliver value. Again, delivering value before the purchase is going to be vitally important to develop those relationships. And last, again, developing the relationships to create those raving fans. Identify key actions and ready customers. Those key actions that you are doing to create ready customers to move them from leads into the conversion phase, okay? Share timely call to actions, okay? Streamline the purchase process, again, less than five or less. And then build your loyal customers, sustain your loyal customers, and then encourage advocacy. Again, creating raving fans for your business. Okay, if you'd like some more continuing education, you can watch more webinars similar to this at G.co, Grow on Air. There are multiple on-demand webinars there that you can watch. Another option is Primer. Primer gives you 5-minute little marketing tips, business tips, things like that every single day. If you would like that, that's an app that was created by Google. And then last but not least, google.com/grow has multiple different sectors that you can get multiple information. I know that there are a lot of questions. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen. screen so that I can look across the different platforms. I'd like to think if you need to hop off, I know I'm pushing time here. We've only got about 15 minutes left. If you need to hop off, I understand. Thank you for joining us today. I really appreciate it. If you've got any questions, go ahead and put those throughout the platforms, and I will go through and start answering those now. So let me go ahead and pull up those different platforms. How do we register for next week's class? Okay, so registration for next week's class is available on Eventbrite. If you have not registered for that class yet, go ahead and get on that. If you are an active SBDC business, you can also register for that on the SBDC events page, the Utah SBDC events page. So those are the two places that you can register for this class, but I keep the Eventbrite. That's the first place I put it up on because I utilize that link for all of our marketing across the board. So if you want to know what's going on, that is the place to go. When is the branding? So branding, we have a lot. All of our 2022 programming has been completed. I have to run the different programming through Chris, who is actually on here today, and make sure that the different programmings that we've created works for him, and the timing and all that works for Navajo Tourism and all of that. And then once I get his approval, we will get the marketing out for that. The tentative plan date, branding, the branding series, build your business, build your brand, too many. Anyway, it starts on January 6th. The business finance class will start on January 4th. Both of those links are up. I will give Chris, get Chris's approval on all of that and get him all of that marketing. We'll get all of our marketing on social media and everything like that. But if you want to get on Eventbrite, all of that's on there and available already. When am I doing the YouTube class? So the YouTube class will be in 2020. It's actually already, it's on the schedule in 2020. So if you go to the Grow with Google, the USU Spark Grow with Google page, it is on there. All of my classes, I did that over the holiday weekend, so it's all up there. How do you cross tag? So I'm being asked, how do you cross tag if you online publish? So if you online publish, for example, if like here we do the local newspaper will do an article, for example, on a business, and say we have got a website for that business, and the local newspaper also has an article on that business. What you want to do is you want to take that article link and embed it within your website, whether that is a blog that you write up, and cross tag that, so you can take the same write up and put that in, and then give the proper accreditation for who wrote it, where you got it from, all of that stuff, and then tag it. That's one way to do it. Another way to do it is to talk about, hey, I was interviewed by so-and-so, and do a blog that way, and write that in. Another option you can do is have a section within your website that you can basically write in different articles that either you wrote or has been written on you, or different publications, different things like that. That's another way that we've done it. Another option is within a photo gallery. We have a photo gallery for another one that we were able to cross tag a picture of them and the writer that interviewed, so that they could go on to the local newspaper and read it online. There are different ways that you can do that, but in the lack of a better term, you're embedding that link into your website so that it's cross tagged, and can go back and forth. You want to do the same thing, like for example, if you're doing that on your website, you also want to do that with your social media platforms and do it across the board so that there are multiple different aspects that way. For those that are asking how to do that, go ahead and book an appointment. The person that just asked how is a client here for the center. Just book an appointment with me and we'll show you how to do that. It's the easiest way to do that, rather than having to show the back office of somebody's website. I'm creating my 2022 marketing campaign and want to utilize this. I have a new product that I want to market. What is the best way to do that? Okay, so you just want to go through these same steps that we talked about today. So there's the 4 different areas you want to look at, the questions that you want to ask yourself and follow those same steps. But the big key is you want to figure out what the pain point you're asking, then when you created, or the pain point for your customer that you were solving when you created that product. Whether it's a product or service, you're going to do that same thing. Okay, and then you're going to utilize that pain point within the content that you are creating, whether it's quotes or whether it is just a write-up that you're doing, the different aspects that you're creating that way. So the easiest way to do that is essentially, so you take the pain point, or it might be multiple pain points, but you write it, you can write, you know, too many questions. Slow down. Sorry, we got several questions coming in over social media and I can't keep up. So essentially you're going to take your pain point. So let's say on this particular item, the pain point, so we're working within tourism, and this particular business is a hotel within this tourism industry. Okay, your pain point is they need a family vacation. Okay, it's been COVID, it's family vacation, they need time away, right? And you're a family-focused hotel. So the pain point is is they need a family vacation from after COVID. Okay, so you're going to take that information and you're going to write, essentially, say you're going to do 10 posts, go 1 through 10. And you're going to write essentially 10 things that have to do with that pain point, with 10 different call to actions, and then link that together. But you want to make sure whatever you're writing links up with your brand and your mission. It goes back to that brand statement that we did. Okay, so essentially, like for example, in this particular situation, it would be, so this business target, or your target is obviously families that need an escape, and develop family time, whatever that might be, and then based on that, you're going to utilize your content for that. Because you're on social media, I don't know if you feel comfortable with me sharing more information about your business, and because of privacy, I can't put that more out there. So that's going to be up to you. Book an appointment with me. Okay, I believe at this point in time, we're getting into very specific business questions. And because of SBA and SBDC privacy, I cannot divulge specific business information. So that would be individual. So for these individual businesses that are asking questions, I'm going to go ahead and say I will email you individually and we can talk about your stuff, and you can book an appointment with me as well if you want to just get on Zoom and we can take care of that. How would you create a loyalty program for a tour guide group? Okay, so I've got a tour guide group asking how to create a loyalty program or a raving fan type of a situation for a tour guide group. So basically what you need to do is look at your ideal customer. Do you have multiple repeats? Are they first timers? Look at that situation and see how you're getting your customers. And then from there, we can look at, or you can look at what is going to take to either bring them back, or what's it going to take to have them go online and rave about your situation. So that's essentially what you're going to do. A lot of, like, for example, in say Moab area, there are a lot of repeat people. They go every single year. They have a set weekend. They go every single year. They go to a specific event, say, for example. Whereas down here in San Juan County, in the lower area, and I believe the same would probably be true for Navajo Nation area, is we have a lot of international. Because we have the big five and things like that, where we have a lot of international. They might not come every year. They might come, say, maybe every 5 years or something like that. So it might not be as a repeat. So what we need to do is evaluate that and see how, if it's a lot of first timers, or if it is repeat. If it is repeat, then like a loyalty type of a situation might be, book again with us. If you're your first time, are you coming back? Book again and get 10% off next year. That might be an option for you. Again, that's a perk. But if you look at, if it's a lot of first timers, then maybe it's something that you do on your tours that you take a picture of and say, maybe you have them tag you in that picture or something like that. That makes them become a raving fan. Oh my goodness, we did X, Y, Z. It was a beautiful trip. Thank you so-and-so for taking us on this trip. Whatever that looks like, figure out how you can create that type of momentum to get that raving fan. It is that wow factor. It goes back to that wow factor. What can you do as part of your normal services that makes a client go, wow, that was so neat, and makes the event so memorable? And it might be showing them a very special location that they probably wouldn't have gotten elsewhere, or showing them a picture or how to take a picture, or it might be something like that, or it might be a skill that you personally have that they can take with them. It just kind of depends on the individual business that you're working with, but that's where you're going to need to evaluate who your ideal client is. And it might go back to looking at those pain points as well and figuring out what are their pain points and if you're answering those pain points. Okay. If the pain points just is, I'm traveling through and I need a tour guide, and there's 28 tour guides in the area and you just happen to be picked, that might not be as memorable as I was coming through the area and this particular tour guide did these specific themes. And so that's why I picked them. Okay. So you guys have a great one. Thanks for joining us. We're out of time. I will go back through and answer those individual questions when I will go back through and answer the individual business questions. Have a great one. We'll see you next week for business ads. Bye.